Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Deck Tech. So today we're talking about Kozilek's artifact creatures. As you can see, we have a wide selection and they don't all do the same thing. They don't all have the same purpose. So we'll go one by one so that we can discuss why they're there, why it's worth it that they are, and what not to use, because sometimes people think, oh, it's just a creature, therefore it goes in, or hey, it's colorless and it's big, so it fits the theme. Well, we want to avoid that. We want to keep it to a minimum so that we can actually play all the things we have instead of being stuck with a lot of really big creatures, okay? So if it's here, it has a reason. If it's not, we can figure it out, okay? So let's get into it. So starting off on the left side, we have a little bit of stacks. So as you can see, we have Silent Arbiter, which costs 4 mana, and it's gonna be basically a floodgate. It says no more than one creature may attack each combat and no more than one creature may block each combat, which means that you actually get a lot of advantage there because you have a lot of big creatures. For example, let's say you have Kozilek in and someone wants to get rid of you because you have Kozilek in, right? That's how it works. And so maybe they have tokens. Maybe they have a kill spell. Maybe they have, all these things. Well, even if they use 1 or 2 or 3 strategies, well, they're gonna have to limit the attacks to 1 because of this guy. And you don't have to defend with this guy. You can actually keep your blocker open. Maybe you can withstand some damage and you don't even need to block. But if you did have such a big creature as Kozilek, then you can just block with it and nothing's gonna happen, okay? And if you want to get rid of something else, maybe you got a token generator or something that gives you mana when it dies, well, Silent Arbiter is actually going to be helpful because it'll basically let them choose their attack and then you choose a blocker, so you will always choose for your advantage. The next one we got is Platinum Angel. It says literally you can't lose a game and your opponents can't win the game. So this is gonna be like, yes, it's another floodgate because they gotta deal with it first. And same with Platinum Empyrean, it's gonna be your life total can't change. So once again, it's trying to get rid of those strategies that's gonna eliminate you out of the game. So this limits combat, this limits life loss, this just limits winning overall, and it helps you not lose, it helps them not win, so it really is buying you time, okay, which is what all stack species want to do. So those are the ones that we have available. There certainly are more, but we'll talk about that later, and they're not in creature, so they have no legs. If not, they'd be right here, okay? So yeah, we also have on this side, we have, like I said, generation. So it can be token, it can be mana. I'm using it for mana right now. For example, Cathodian is going to give you mana when it gives you when it dies. So if it leaves the battlefield, goes to the graveyard, yep, it's giving you 3 mana, which means that it pays for itself, or that it's giving you an extra 3 next time. Okay. You also have Metalworker, which taps for the amount of artifacts that you reveal, which is a pretty sweet deal. And you also have here Wormcoil Engine, which is going to be giving you mana equal to the amount of tokens that you sacrifice and itself. And yeah, it's a very useful strategy, and the reason why is the following. Let's say you have a card like Ashnod's Altar or Clark Clan Ironworks, and what's going to happen is the tokens, they're going to give you mana when you sacrifice them. But then you have a card like Nim Deathmantle, and what's going to happen is for 4 mana, you can actually pay to get it back. And so that's what happens. Same thing here with Cathodian. You sacrifice for 2, and then when it dies, you add 3. That's 5. You pay 4, bring it back. That's net 1. We're going to talk about that more in another video, but yeah, that's how it works. In the case of the Platinum Angels, Platinum Empyrean, and Silent Arbiter, we are going to want to protect them with Darksteel Forge because they are artifacts. Now we make them indestructible. And the same goes for everything else. Honestly, if you want mana, you can just sacrifice these as long as they are not useful anymore. Sacrifice them for mana. You can even bring them back somehow. And you can actually defend these, protect them whenever you're using them for defense. If you don't have any of these, by having Darksteel Forge, so they're kind of interchangeable, right? Finally, we have more aggressive kind of tactics, which is going to be Geode Golem, letting you get Kozilek out earlier so you can play the commander for free. Basically, it halves the the cost, because you play Geo Golem, it has trample, you attack. When it deals combat damage, you may cast your commander, which means that you are going to cast it for free and you get 4 draw. That's really good. And then you get an additional 12/12 aside from this 5/3. Even if it dies, it doesn't really matter. Then you can sacrifice it for mana, or you can bring it back in case it didn't work and someone did block by paying just 4 more. So that's a pretty good deal. You're still 1 below what Kozilek would cost, and then you just attack the next turn and try again. Yep, you also have Blight Seal Colossus, which you can bring back with Nim in case it dies, or you can just shuffle into the owner's library, and yeah, it has trample, infect, and indestructible. That's pretty sweet. That's definitely a scare card, and you can just defend it with Darksteel Forge or bring it back with Nim Death Mantle. It's really good. And hey, this is Menace. This is a kill on the spot card right there, okay? And yeah, so we have Walking Ballista, another kill spell basically, which is going to depend more on whether you have or not the mana. But yeah, you can just dump infinite mana if you got some, and then you win the game. That's kind of how this all works. So these make mana, these protect you while you make mana, and then these kill the people that are going to be trying to get rid of all the things that you have. So these protect them or generate mana too. And yeah, that's kind of how it works. Now Karn is a special one right here. This card is very different because let's say you have a card like MagicYami. Karn is gonna work kind of like offensive, kind of defensive. So what Karn's gonna do is for 1 mana, it can have non-creature artifacts become artifact creatures with its power and toughness equal to the converted mana cost. So here's the thing, lands are permanents. MagicYami makes everything into an artifact, which means that now a land is an artifact that is a non-creature, so you can target it for 1 mana, and now you can start blowing up people's lands. And that is very stacksy, that is very detrimental. It's terrible, honestly, but hey, it works. So then you're also paired with Darksteel Forge. Your stuff has indestructible while you're destroying theirs, and you're not really destroying them. You're more like getting rid of them because of state-based action. So you make them into a 0/0, which makes them fizzle out, and that's how you can get rid of your whole opponent's I wouldn't say board, but I would say future plays, because if they have no lands, they can't play. And that's a terrible thing to do, but yeah, that's what we're playing, and they're gonna be playing terrible things against us. So yep. The other thing that Karn can do though is maybe you have a special kind of ramp card that has 3 or more mana. So the way this works is if you have Voltaic Construct, yeah, you can untap that artifact creature, and if it's not a creature, you can pay 1 to make it into a creature with Karn. So let's say you have something like Thran Dynamo. What's gonna happen is Thran Dynamo taps for 3. Then you pay 1, make it into a creature, and now this guy can untap it for 2. So now it untaps, then you can tap it for 3. It's already a creature, so you don't have to pay the 1. So you're down to net 0, but you can tap it again for 3 and then untap it for 2. And from then on, you got infinite mana. So this guy is kind of in between because it can both work as a stacks and as mana generation. While Walking Ballista is going to be the kill spell that will definitely be working in your favor so that you can win the game. So yeah, that's it for the creatures in this deck. If there are any more creatures, I'll make another video, but honestly, the problem with creatures in a colorless deck is they are distractions. Honestly, if they are not distracting enough, you're playing them wrong. And if they're too distracting, like maybe you have a creature, you want to make that the centerpiece of the deck, that's gonna be a problem because they're going to be after it the whole time. That's not very ideal, and so it has to be that it's a distraction for what you want to do without you wanting to do that thing in the first place. And yeah, that's kind of how all distractions work. I'm not saying it's any different, but definitely you guys check it out, because honestly, you guys can choose how your deck works. There's another card that is a bit more on the expensive side, but it's called Suchi, which is going to work just like these. And same thing happens with Workhorse. But yeah, it's like a 4 mana card, 5 mana card. Wormcoil Engine is amazing anyways. It's a great card. It gives tokens so you can block with them too. But Workhorse just makes mana, and if you don't have the combo piece, it doesn't work. And Cathodion, it does work no matter what kills it. So we kind of see that they're more versatile. But yeah, you have some other pieces that are stacksy. If you want to use them, you're welcome to. Like I said, I think these are a must. But everything else, yeah, you choose and have fun with it. And let me know in the comments though. Let me know what else you would put in here, and as well as which is your favorite part of this. Like, do you like the left side, the right side? Do you like a specific stacks piece indeed, or maybe a combo piece? Yeah, let me know about that. So comment that and like, share, subscribe, and follow for more. Okay, I will see you on the next one. Peace out.